guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, I'm here today to show you how to make a darling card for a friend using the Stampin' Up! Darling Donkeys. Now I'm going to be using two products from the Sale-A-Bration brochure. And if you don't know what Sale-A-Bration is, one of the ways to get free items is to place a $50 or $100 order before shipping and tax, and you can choose some items out of here for free. Now the ones I'm using are called level 1, so these you get free with a $50 order. So it's every $50 you place on an order. So if you were to place a $100 order, you could get both of the products I'm using. So let's open this up, and like it says, February 28th. So you want to make sure you do that. We're almost halfway through. I can't believe it. Okay, what I'm going to be using is the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. That's the paper I'm using. Love this paper. Now there is a typo here, and I'll make sure you know about. This says it coordinates with the Pretty Perennials. It actually coordinates with the In Blooms bundle. I wanted to show you that real quick. It's on page 45 in the mini catalog. And it's really hard to tell, but there's stitching in the dies. So I can't wait to get this. I've just ordered this actually this morning. So hopefully that'll get here real soon. And be watching for an online class from me, and it's going to include this bundle and this Designer Series paper. So I'm real excited about getting that. Okay, so let me show you the paper first. It is a 12 by 12 pack. I've got these cut down to 6 by 6 because it's a lot easier to show them in the screen. A lot of times I can't get that 12 by 12 to show real well. This is one of the images I'm going to be using, sides. I love this, and those dies I showed you in the In Bloom bundle coordinate with these. So you can die cut these out and it'll put stitching in them. So yes, I can't wait to start getting ready for this online class. So like I said, be watching out for that soon. Probably later in the month or maybe the beginning of February, since I just ordered it today. So this is one side, here's the other, and I will actually be using this side in my card too. I like to be using both sides on a card. There's this, turn this over. Love the colors in this. Night of Navy, Soft Seafoam, Petal Pink, Rococo Rose. Oh, let me think. Can't remember if I said Seaside Spray. Old Olive, and Whisper White. Actually just white, we have basic white now. It's gonna take me a while to quit calling it Whisper White. We've had it for so long. And there you go. And if you haven't seen a comparison of the Whisper White and the basic white, I'll put a link up in the top right corner and also in my video description of a video where I showed how to showed the differences with that. Very slight difference. I'm really happy with the basic white. Then if you turn to the next page, page 4, then you're going to find the Darling Donkey stamp set, and they've got a lot of cute little things here. Couldn't wait to make a card with this. It is such a cute set. And this is the stamp set up close. And I love, we're going to be actually using almost all of the stamps in this. Well, 2 of the donkeys and then these 3 greetings right there. And if you want to stamp along with me, just pause this video, look down in the video description, and click on the link to the blog post, and that's where I've got the supply list and all the dimensions you need so you can get all your supplies together and then come back and make it with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to use the blending brushes some too. So let's go ahead and do the blending brushes first. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper here if I can get a hold of it. There we go. And this is a piece of basic white that's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to grab my Seaside Spray, it's not Blushing Bright, Petal Pink, and Soft Seafoam. Now Soft Seafoam is what I'm going to use first, and I'm using a different blend for each one. Now I'm going to try and see, you can kind of tell there's ink on this. This sat overnight. I'm going to rinse it out and see if the ink comes out. I haven't tried it for that long. Usually you can rinse the ink out, just so you know that. But here's my Seaside Spray. Make sure I get some ink on that. And I'm going to start off the paper, on my grid paper first, and just slide across here, and then start putting more pressure as I go. The neat thing I like about the blending brushes, it may take a little longer to get the ink on there, but I think you have more control that way. And it could also be I need to get a little more ink in this, but this is a very light green. Hopefully you can see this. I'm getting a nice, pretty green here. I didn't want to just have a white background, so I'm going to keep doing this until I have it just the way I want it. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but there is definitely green on the bottom of that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this because I'm not going to need it anymore. Now I'm going to do Petal Pink. Open this up, and I'm using very light colors too. I've used dark colors with the blending brushes, and that doesn't take any time at all to get some ink to show up. Now I'm going to intentionally go over the green a little bit. I want to keep this Petal Pink in the middle, but I want them to blend. I don't want to just have a white space in between. I'm going to keep doing this. It's going to have a nice little pink effect. I'm kind of going for almost like the green grass and a little bit of a horizon. And then I'm going to put the soft sea spray on the top. So there's that. Hopefully you can see that. It's so hard sometimes to show it in a video. And the pink, I think, went on a little faster. And then we've got the Seaside Spray. And I'm going to do the top. So get ink on that again. Start off of my cardstock. Go across. As you can see, these are, it's not taking me any time at all to get enough green. So I'm thinking I need to ink up my soft sea spray. Soft sea, there are too many C's. Soft sea foam. This is Seaside Spray. Okay, I think I'm gonna add a little more blue up there. And once again, I'm making sure I go over the pink just a little bit. So there, now we've got the 3 colors. Isn't that neat? So you can see, I do definitely need to add some more ink to that because that took a lot longer than the other 2 colors. But I love the blending brushes because you have more control. When I use brayers, it just didn't go as well. And sponges, sometimes you get it too dark. The blending brushes, you just have a lot more control. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do some die cutting. Okay, let's get some die cutting done first, and we'll do some embossing. So you need platform number 1. You need platform number 2. Oops, I'm sorry, I hit my camera there for a second. Probably jiggled. Then we've got platform number 3. I'm going to grab this white piece, and I'm going to use some neat dies. I forgot to show you these at the beginning. These are the Stitched with Whimsy dies. They are so neat. I love the stitching on this. And I'm going to be using the largest square one in there. I love how they're different shapes too. And this is, you're going to see what they do. They are so much fun. I'm going to put it here near the center. Get center as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's supposed to be whimsical, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Cover it up with my number 3 plate again. So I need 2 of those number 3s. Okay. And look at that. Isn't that neat? Isn't that stitching neat? So it doesn't actually die cut a square out. It just does really neat stitching. Love that. Okay, so now I'm going to also use a piece of our Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. I think this is the last, this is the last thing I die cut. I'm going to be using the Layering Circles dies, and I want to use the second to the largest. This is the largest, so this is my second to the largest. So we'll die cut this circle out, then we'll emboss, and then we'll get this card finished. Doesn't take that long. If you like to color, you're going to love this. I love to color. I'm using the blends, so the coloring makes it take a little bit longer, but not much. So there we go. We've got that pretty circle. Okay, now we're getting ready to emboss. So we need platform number 1 again. And I'm using the Brick and Mortar 3D folder, embossing folder. And this is a piece of Petal Pink. It's a 4 by 5 1/4. And I want the bricks to be going horizontal like bricks do. So it's going to go in this way. And I love having that line because now I can just line up the edge of that paper right there. Now this is where the fold is at. So you always want the fold to go in first. Then you need the number 4 plate. This is a specialty plate. Put that on top, run it through. And we will be done with my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Let me get this out so you can see the really neat brick. I love this brick. And what makes it 3D, I don't know if you can see that. Some of the bricks are higher than the others. Just a really neat effect. Okay, now I'm ready to do some stamping. I'm going to bring this beauty in again. This is that 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inch piece that we used with the blending brushes. I'm going to grab this donkey here. Isn't he cute? He's just adorable. I love that grin. Then I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black Memento pad. Get him inked up. And I'm going to stamp him here in the bottom right corner. And I wanted to make sure that that stitching was centered. So that's why I'm stamping him last. That way I know where to put him. I just think it's easier to die cut first and then put this on. Okay, now we will grab actually keep this on here. I want to grab the Hey There Friend, ink that up with my tuxedo black, and I'm going to stamp that in the top left corner. Okay, so now we're going to do some coloring. I have done this before. You're probably thinking, oh, can you put blends on top of that blending that we did? You can. And I did that in another video too, so I'll put a link to that up in the top corner. But I'm going to grab my Gray Granite Stampin' Blends, my Petal Pink Stampin' Blends, and my Rococo Rose. Okay, now we don't need this anymore, so I'll move that out of the way. First off, let's go ahead and do the Gray Granite. Now, I'm going to start with the dark. You can start with the light if you want to. I like to put some little highlights on first. I think he probably should be a little darker right here. And I decided to have, I'm not going to do a lot of blending with this, but I wanted to have a dark shade on his little tail hair there and on his hair up here on his head. And the rest of him, except for the inside of his ears, is going to be the light Gray Granite. So that looks pretty good. So let's grab my light Gray Granite. I'm going to do the outside of his ears and color in the rest of him. Okay, one thing, now I'm getting to some of the dark that I put here for highlight to just have shadows for him. I am going to color over the dark just to have it blend in a little better, because I like having it. That's why they're called Stampin' Blends. That way you can blend them. And if you end up doing too much, you can always go back and add a little more and then blend some more if you need to. But that looks pretty good to me. And I did forget to do his little hoofs here. I wanted those to be darker too. And it looks like I missed a leg. My goodness. He needs that little leg, so that is right here. So now we've got all the gray colored in. Now I'm going to use Rococo Rose to do the inside of his ears. This is the dark one, so I'm going to put a little bit right here where there should be a little bit of a shadow. Like that. Okay. Might add a little bit more to that. Then I'm going to grab my light, color those in. See, it doesn't take that long at all to color this guy in. I'm going over the dark a little bit to blend him in. And then I thought his nose needed to be a little bit lighter. Actually, you could probably go without coloring him in because we've got that Petal Pink back there, but I want it to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to put a little bit of dark around his mouth and his little nostrils right there. And then I'll take the light Petal Pink and color him all in. So see, that makes his nose just a little bit darker than the brushes, the ink that we put in the background. So he is all colored in. Isn't he so cute? You just want to pinch his little cheeks. He's a cutie. Okay, let's go ahead and mount him on a matte piece. This is a piece of 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 of the Seaside Spray. Grab my seal, put him on, and as you can see, some of the blends soaked through the paper. That's what it's supposed to do. And we will attach this right here in the center, like so. Okay. And let's go ahead and grab the card base. This is a piece of Seaside Spray. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to fold it in half. Make sure you get those corners lined up. That's all I try to line up, is just get those corners, then you know everything else is lined up. Okay, got that ready. Let's go ahead and grab the emboss piece we did. That's that 4 by 5.25 inch Petal Pink. I'm going to turn this over and attach it to the center of the card base. Okay, put this right here in the center. Okay, now we're going to grab some more of the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. This is a 1 inch by 5.25, and then when I grab my circle, this is going to go just about right here in a little bit. Grab my seal again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now the neat thing about seal, for the first 10 minutes, you can lift up your paper and move it around without hurting your paper. Love that. After 10 minutes, it's on there permanently. So I'm going to lay this down. If it's not just right, I can move it around a little bit. I'm going to put some seal on my circle. And I'm going to be putting the donkey down here in the bottom right corner. So I want to show as much of the flowers on here as possible. So the part that has mainly the Night of Navy, I'm going to have it kind of hidden a little bit. I'm going to have it go over the circle a little bit. Now I'm going to lay it down. Let's see how that looks with my donkey. That looks pretty good. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to have to worry about moving it around, but I could have definitely with the, because of the seal letting me. Okay, I'm going to get these blends out of the way. Well, no, actually I still need those. We'll leave them there. Getting ahead of myself. Now we're going to put this donkey on with Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to use the white ones here. There's one card I used. I should have used the black back a while back. But this one you definitely want to use the white because it's a lighter cardstock we're using here. But I love the black ones with our darker cardstock. You can't see the dimensionals at all being darker. I love that. Okay, now we'll put this little guy right down here. That looks pretty good. Okay, now I thought, okay, it needs a little more. So I'm grabbing the Seaside Spray Scalloped Linen Ribbon. This is in the annual catalog. We've got it in all the 2019, 2021 in colors. I'm going to go ahead and just tie my bow. Now, this has two different sides, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do this. So I want to show the scallop, the Seaside Spray on all of it. It just takes some twisting. So I'm doing this. I'm going to twist this as it goes around my finger. So that way I am seeing that scallop again. Then kind of twist it again. You do a lot of twisting. Put it through. Play around with it. I'm going to twist this some more. I just keep playing around with it till I see all the scallops. Now see, this one is turned to here. I'm going to take this, twist it again, and tighten that knot. And there you go. Isn't that cool? You just keep twisting. Take your time. I'm getting a little better at it. Sometimes it doesn't work so well, but that was probably the quickest I've done it. But there, it is possible to be able to show all that. And it is okay, like if the knot is just the linen, that still looks good too, but I wanted it to look like this. So let me grab my scissors, cut it off my spool and do it at an angle, and then cut this one to make them even. Play around with it. That looks good. The tails I think are okay, but I can still trim those if I need to. I'm going to grab my glue dots. Right, oops, I didn't get a chance to push it down. Push it down real good. Then you can lift it up. I'm going to put it here on the corner and get my hand out of the way so you can see better. I want to make sure that Hey Friend is still visible. Okay, there you go. So there's the front of it, but we have got to decorate that inside. Okay, plus I wanted to use another donkey. Gives me an excuse to use that other donkey. So grab your last piece of basic white. This is a 4 by 5.25. And I'm going to use this little donkey that's kicking his hind legs out. They're just so adorable. I love all of them. Bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat again. And this is something you can buy in the online store. It's not in the catalog. Just search for Stampin' Pierce mat and you'll find it in the online store. And there's a link to that below in the video description. But I use it with all my stamping. It's just a nice, firm, soft foundation for my stamping. Okay, I'm going to stamp him down there. That's with that tuxedo black again. And we're going to color him in real quick. I'm going to do pretty much like I did with the one in the front. So I'll grab the dark one. I'm going to do his little end of his tail with my dark gray granite, his hoofs with the dark gray granite. So right now I'm going to do all of this with the dark gray granite. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take my light gray granite and color everything I want to be gray. Okay, oh, forgot the top of his ear here. That won't take long. There we go. So we've got all the gray done. I'm going to bring in my Rococo Rose. Just do a little bit here with the dark and the rest with the light. Okay. And then I want his little schnoz to be the Petal Pink again. So I'll just do a little bit of dark right here. Maybe a little bit here. And then do the rest of it with a light Petal Pink. And he will be all ready. So another darling donkey. Perfect name for this stamp set. Okay, then I'm going to grab the Hee Haw and the You're the Best stamps, and my Tuxedo Black memento pad again. I'm going to stamp Hee Haw right here in the top center. Oh, I didn't grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it for the words. And you're the best. Hee haw, you're the best. I think any friend would love to get this. And we need to send cards to our friends, especially when we can't see them that much right now. One of these days we'll be able to do stuff together again. Can't wait. And put this right in the center on the inside. So you've got your special inside, and there's the outside. Hope you enjoyed that card. I interrupt this regularly scheduled program. I forgot I wanted to see how this is going to work, so I'm tagging this on the video real quick. These are the same Stampin' Blends I just used. Can you see the no ink? And that ink was sitting on there for overnight. Actually, almost 24 hours. I am super excited. Now, dark colors, it might end up dyeing it. But I just took some water, went like this. I mean, it literally took probably a minute to get all 3 of them clean. Oh, I love these brushes. They're wonderful. So I just wanted to show you the outcome on that, in case you were wondering. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's card. I had so much fun making this, and I love having the blending brushes to make that background. It just makes it a little more special, not just that white background. I like that a lot. And if you like stamping with me and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe below and then click on that bell icon and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video. That way you won't miss any. And if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And if you would like some catalogs mailed out to you, these are the 2 current ones right now. The mini catalog, the January to June, and also the Sale-A-Bration. I'll get these mailed out to you. And if you have not received the annual catalog yet either, here's this one. This one goes till the end of April. I'd be happy to mail that out to you too. Just click the contact me link below in my video description and send me your mailing address, and I'll get those mailed out to you right away. Well, it's time to end this video. I'll be back with another one soon, and I hope to see you there. See you in the next video. Bye.